What's up guys and welcome back everyone, my name is Freaky and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. This time around we're going to cover a new type of tier list. It's not going to include all characters, it's only going to include the rare characters in the game and how viable they actually are. Before we get into the video, quick short notice as always, I do stream live on Twitch daily, so if you want to check me out live or want to ask me any questions, just click the Twitch link in the description, leave a follow and you get a notification when I go live so you can ask me something. Or also, besides that, if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like, comment and subscribe to the channel, helps me out immensely and lets us grow further together. Now, without further ado, let's get into the tier list. So, we're actually going to start here with 4 tiers. It's actually going to be a pretty short video because there's not too much to talk about. It's only, what is it, 9 rare units as of right now. If I didn't miscount there, yeah, it's 9 actually. So, we're only going to cover those 9 units here. I'm actually going to go from bottom to the top and actually quickly, shortly explain their placing, why they're there, and what makes them so viable, how is their potential, etc. So, of course, depending how high I go or the higher I go, I'm going to talk more about the units in detail, as you guys know. So, we're going to start off with the C tier, which is there because of Jude and Taizo. Those 2 units are definitely worse than the 4 units above them. Why are they worse? First things first, this includes PvP and PvE, alright? So keep that please in mind. In both PvE and PvP, neither Taizo nor Jude do see any use. So the skill sets are not really good, they're bad to be honest. Taizo has like this type of barrier and the passive he decreases damage in PvP, right? But you don't necessarily looking for that. Jude has the reflection with his passive, bad skill set once again, kind of like Taizo. So they're just worse than the 4 units above them. The 4 units above them in the B tier actually have something going for them which makes them just a tiny bit better and why they're also a tier higher than those 2. So let's continue now with the B tier, which includes Golgius, Ruin, Simon, and Hugo. Let's start off with Golgius. Golgius is a pretty decent passive when you actually start the game, where he increases your damage dealt from your allies in deathmatch, so against raids, which actually makes him a pretty nice unit to build in the beginning. Not necessarily the first rare unit you should build, but he's a decent unit actually to boost your damage in deathmatch. So also his skill set is somewhat better, where he has weak point, weakness damage, where he can deal more damage against debuffed enemies. So it's kind of decent skill there. Ruined himself, he actually has a decent ult where he's gonna actually stun the enemy, which can always be somewhat useful, and also his passive is kind of better than Taizo and Jude, like I just mentioned beforehand, but not much more to say to him there. Simon there, he actually has a decent passive for PvP, where he boosts your damage, and also he has decent skill set for rare unit with pierce damage, and also then I think it's spike damage, where he has increased crit damage or crit chance, my bad. And also obviously the pierce damage, and once again his ult as well is pierce damage and AoE pierce damage ult, which is also kind of decent for a rare unit. So he is somewhat of a decent damage dealer for a rare unit. Then you have Hugo who has rupture damage and weak point damage, which is very rare. I think he's actually the only unit in the game which has those 2 type of damage. And yeah, as a whole, in general, decent unit, decent skill set. Passive is alright, but once again, just justifies his skill set, justifies him having a higher finishing or placement than Jude and Taizo. Coming now to the A tier, we have Marmos and Elioni. So, Marmos and Elioni, I'm not gonna lie, Elioni is a tiny bit better than Marmos, but because of the passive, I'm gonna rate them both in the same tier. So Marmos has a weaker skill set than Elioni does, but in my opinion, Marmos passive actually kind of justifies here the same spot as Elioni. Elioni boosts your damage, Marmos boosts your HP. Mono green is somewhat better than mono blue, but then again, having an HP boosts obviously more HP obviously is very good to have, for example, for very hard fights against, for example, Mama did see use against, who was it, Super Boss Garfer. A lot of people actually used Mamas to actually clear him, who actually were having trouble clearing Garfer, and Elioni can see use in Guild Boss, Elioni can see use in mono green teams in general to boost your damage. So Elioni has a better skill set. He can dish out quite some damage with his ultimate and has taunting. Then again, Marmus has an ult where he can decrease the enemy's defense by 50%, which is actually really strong. So yeah. Then the only unit actually deserving a spot in S tier, in my opinion, is Twee God. Why does Twee God get the S tier as the only rare unit in the game? It's the combination of PvE and PvP. Monorad is such an insanely strong team in PvP, and with Twee God's passive boosting the HP, you get so much HP on your Monorad team. It's insane, it's crazy. They're so hard to kill off without, I don't know, focusing on one unit to actually get rid of that unit. It's insane how much he boosts their HP. Furthermore, he can also dish out decent damage with his skill sets, where he has a single target attack where it can dish out decent damage, and also an AoE attack, and then also the ult where he can deal out damage, deal quite nice damage. And also for PvE, you can use him actually as a 4th unit in Monorad for Guild Boss, which I did mention in my Guild Boss guide video I think like 2 weeks ago something, where he's part of the Monorad team to actually score the best scores on normal and hard as of right now against Kelleg Guild Boss. So as a whole, he's just on top of all the rare units in the game. He can shine in PvE and he can shine in PvP. Keep in mind though, those units are not necessarily as good as SSR units that are in S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, right? So this is just a tier list for rare units where if you're new in the game, or you're a veteran player and you don't know yet which unit you should focus on when it comes to like your rare units, which unit you should build on, this is something that hopefully can help you, and hopefully does help you. For example, that you focus on Twee God first, then go for Marmus, Elioni, and then focus on the other ones in the bottom tiers. I hope actually this helps. If you guys have any further questions, or you think I did a mistake, please just let me know down below in the comments. I'm always open for some nice critique and feedback. And yeah, this has been it for the video already. Quick, short, rare units tier list. I hope it helped you guys. If you guys actually enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. Helps me out immensely, and let's just go further together. And other than that, goodbye, and bye.